Caught FaceTiming my husband's coworker, I saw the love in his eyes turn to betrayal. Now he's talking divorce and I'm left questioning. Have I destroyed my family? Or was this marriage doomed from the start? I'm Mandy, I'm 32 and I live in Ohio. I don't even know where to start, honestly. Maybe I should begin with the fact that I never thought my life would end up like this. I mean, I'm married to a guy who works his tail off every single day to provide for me and my son, and yet here I am sitting in this mess that I made. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. This morning started like any other. Greg, my husband, got up at the crack of dawn, kissed me goodbye like he always does, and left for work. He's in construction, the kind of job that leaves him tired and sweaty, but keeps the bills paid. I should have gotten up with him, made him some coffee or something. I didn't though. Instead, I rolled over and stayed in bed for another hour, scrolling through Instagram. By the time I finally got up, my son was already playing video games. It's his favorite thing to do on weekends, and I didn't feel like making a big deal about it. I figured, why not let him have fun? Breakfast was frozen waffles and orange juice because I wasn't in the mood to cook anything. I thought about doing some laundry or maybe cleaning the bathroom, but the thought of scrubbing toilets didn't exactly thrill me, so I just didn't. Instead, I spent most of the day on my phone texting and FaceTiming with Brad. Brad is Greg's coworker. He's been helping me figure things out lately, or at least that's what I've been telling myself. It's not like we're doing anything wrong, we're just talking. Greg doesn't get how lonely it gets sometimes, and how I need someone to talk to. Brad listens, he gets it. Okay, fine, maybe it's more than talking, but it's not like I'm sneaking around meeting him in person or anything, it's emotional. That's all. And that doesn't really count as cheating, does it? Besides, it's not like Greg has been some perfect husband. He comes home, sits on the couch, cracks open a beer, and barely talks to me. Is it really my fault I needed someone else to fill that gap? I don't think so. So anyway, there I was lying on the couch in my pajamas FaceTiming Brad, while my son was in his room with his headset on. I didn't even notice the time. I thought Greg wouldn't be home until at least 8. So I had plenty of time to relax before throwing something together for dinner. Maybe pasta or tacos, nothing fancy, just enough to keep him from saying anything about it. But when I heard the front door open, my stomach dropped. He wasn't supposed to be home yet. Greg walked in and I froze. I didn't even have time to hang up the call before he saw the screen. The look on his face, God, I'll never forget it. He just stood there staring at me, and then he said, "Are you serious right now?" That's all he said. But the way he said it felt like a punch to the gut. I scrambled to turn off the call, but it was too late. He saw everything. My lazy day, the unfolded laundry piled up on the chair, the empty takeout containers from lunch. And then there was Brad's face on the screen, grinning like an idiot, because he didn't realize what was happening. Greg lost it. "You've got to be kidding me," he yelled. "I'm out there breaking my back all day, and this is what you're doing, talking to Brad?" He didn't give me a chance to explain or defend myself, not that I really had a defense. What was I supposed to say? That I was lonely? That I didn't think it was that big of a deal? None of that would have made a difference. But instead of walking out the door like I'd half expected him to, Greg started listing off everything he was mad about. "You didn't clean the house. You didn't do the laundry. You didn't even bother making dinner. What exactly do you do all day, Mandy?" His voice was sharp and I hated the way it made me feel, like I was some lazy, ungrateful wife who didn't appreciate everything he did for me. The thing is, I do appreciate him. I know he works hard. I know he's a good guy, but it's not like I'm a bad person just because I didn't do laundry today. And it's not like I don't deserve someone to talk to, especially when Greg barely pays attention to me anymore. He acts like I should just be grateful for the roof over my head and keep my mouth shut, but I need more than that. I need connection. And if he's not going to give it to me, why shouldn't I find it somewhere else? Of course, I didn't say any of that out loud. Instead, I just sat there while he went on and on about how disrespectful and lazy I was. He called me selfish, and that one stung because maybe he's right. Maybe I'm a little selfish, but is that such a crime? Sometimes I feel like I'm drowning in this life, and all I'm trying to do is keep my head above water. By the time he was done, Greg looked more hurt than angry. He didn't say anything else. He just grabbed a beer from the fridge and went out to the garage, leaving me alone with my thoughts. And that's when it hit me. He wasn't going to leave me, not yet anyway. He's too good of a guy to just walk away no matter how mad he is. But I knew things weren't going to be the same after this. Greg didn't come back inside for hours. I wasn't about to follow him into the garage and grovel. That's just not me. I don't like feeling like the bad guy, even if I sort of am in this situation. I don't think I'm the villain here though. I mean, sure, I was FaceTiming Brad. But it's not like I've slept with him or anything. And Greg's been checked out for months. I can't be the only one trying to keep this marriage alive. Still, I knew I had to do something to fix things, or at least calm him down, so I decided to clean up the mess in the living room. The takeout boxes went in the trash. I folded the laundry that had been sitting out for 3 days, and I even lit a candle on the coffee table to make it seem like I'd put effort into making the house cozy. It wasn't much, but it was something. By the time Greg came back inside, it was dark out. He walked past me without saying a word, went straight to the fridge, and grabbed another beer. I hated the silence more than anything. I couldn't take it, so I said, "Hey, can we talk?" My voice sounded shaky even to me. Greg didn't even look at me. "What's there to talk about?" he said, slamming the fridge door shut. "You've already made it pretty clear how much you respect me. And this marriage, that's done." But I wasn't going to let him have the last word. "It's not like I've cheated on you. I said, crossing my arms. I was just talking to someone because I needed someone to talk to. You're always at work, and when you're home, you barely even look at me. What do you expect me to do? He turned around then, and the look in his eyes made my stomach twist. What do I expect? I expect my wife not to sit around FaceTiming my coworker while the house looks like a bomb went off. I expect you to act like you care about this family instead of acting like a spoiled teenager. That's what I expect. I didn't have a response to that, not a good one anyway, so I did what I always do when things get tense. I tried to change the subject. Look, I cleaned up, I said, gesturing around the room, and I was thinking maybe we could spend some time together tonight, just you and me. I moved closer, trying to sound soft and sweet, hoping it would soften him up. Greg's expression didn't change. You think cleaning up the mess you should have cleaned days ago is supposed to make me forget what you did? And now you want to play the good wife? His voice dripped with sarcasm, and I hated how it made me feel, but I wasn't ready to give up. I stepped closer, placing a hand on his arm. Come on, Greg, I said, trying to sound playful. Let's not fight, we can move past this. I gave him a little smile. The kind I'd learned usually worked when he was mad about something minor. Then, because I was desperate, I leaned in to kiss him. That's when he stepped back like I was something disgusting. He didn't want to touch. Are you serious right now? He said, his voice full of disbelief. You think you can just seduce me and make me forget about everything? Do you really think I'm that stupid? I froze, my face burning with embarrassment. I didn't know what to say. I thought that would work. That I could fix this by reminding him of the good parts of our relationship. But the way he looked at me, it felt like he didn't even see me as his wife anymore. Just some pathetic woman trying to cover up her mistakes with cheap tricks. Greg shook his head, his lips curling into a bitter smile. You don't get it, do you? He said, this isn't just about Brad or that stupid FaceTime call. This is about everything, about how you don't take anything seriously, not this marriage, not